Hi, this is Keshav. Today we'll see in this video what is role-playing dimension and how it behaves in Power BI. It's one of the sticky wickets in Power BI. We don't get that behavior by default when you add the role-playing dimension. So we need to do few changes to get that behavior. Let's see what few changes we have to do. Before getting started, I feel it's worth speaking about some basics on dimension modeling. Let's get started. You all already might be knowing that, but still, in case if any newbies are looking at this video, this will help to get some understanding. Even though people who are already working, but still, if they did not work on data warehousing, and if you don't have any idea in data warehousing concepts, maybe this basic understanding what I'm gonna give might help. Okay, all right, let's get started. So go to my Excel. Okay, let me take you guys over there. All right, I just listed out a few terminologies here. It's worth knowing. Okay, what is fact table, what is dimension table, and dimension keys, measures, attributes, schema, and hierarchies. I feel these basic concepts are very important if you are getting started with Power BI development, or maybe if you are creating data modeling. So you should understand these main concepts. That's what I feel. Okay, let's get started. So what is fact table? It's nothing but a table which stores the transactional data. Okay, so another way we can call it as it's a transactional table which is collection of both dimension keys and measures. Okay, what are dimension keys? Dimension keys are nothing but the foreign keys in the fact table through which fact can connect to dimension table. Okay, what are the different examples for fact table? Okay, so you can take payroll as the best example, payroll table, and sales table. So these are best examples for fact tables. All right, so dimension table. What is dimension table? It's a master table which doesn't have duplicate values. So in other way, in technical terms, how we can define dimension table is it's a business entity through which we can group fact data or measures. So what are the best examples for a dimension table? So you can say employee table. In any organization, employee details will be stored in employee table, but will be stored only once. Okay, you can't expect duplicate values in employee table. All right. So another way, customer table. So lot many. Okay, you can see these tables will not have duplicate values. Products means what are the products you are selling in your shop, those all products will be listed out in this table. Okay, you can't expect duplicate values in this table. All right, so dimension keys, as already said, foreign keys in the fact table through which fact can connect to dimension table. Measures, what are the measures? The data in the fact table that can be calculated or that can be measured. All right, that can be summed, you can say. Okay, so data in the fact table which can be measured or calculated, that data is called as measures. All right, there could be few fact tables without measures also. Those fact tables are called as factless facts. Let's not go deep into those different types of facts and different types of dimensions here. Okay, so I wanted to give some basic understanding before getting started. So maybe if you have sales amount in your now fact table, that can be measured, right? And also tax amount, and same way you can say salary also can be measured. All right, so these are measures. Attributes are nothing but columns in dimension table. Then schema defines the relationship between fact and dimension table. Okay, so based on the relationship, right, how those are related each other, based on that, schemas are of two types: star and snowflake schema. Alright, we'll see in a few minutes what is star and what is snowflakes. Next, hierarchies. So hierarchies are logical representation of dimension data in multiple levels, from higher level to lower level. So as I said, it's a logical representation. So that means it won't be stored anywhere in the dimension table, just only is the logical representation. If you want to have better analysis, so what you can do, you can have hierarchies created. Okay, let me show you guys the dimension modeling. So I just already created some sample tables here in this diagram. This is fact table, and this is a dimension table. That's dim product, dim geography, and dim date. As the naming convention is like fact table, it has started with fact. Dimension table started with dim, so you can easily understand these are dimension table, these are fact tables. Okay, in case if the naming convention is not like this, if how do you identify whether this is fact or dimension table? Okay, so that you can identify only by looking at the data. By looking at the data only, you need to understand. So as I said, dimension table will never have duplicate values. Based on that, you can identify whether it is master table or transactional table. Okay, if it is master table, then it's a dimension. All right, if it is transactional table, then it is fact table. Okay, don't be confused. In few fact tables, I mean, you might not be seeing these measures. Those are sales amount, tax amount, and discount, but still those might be fact tables. Okay, such fact tables are called as factless facts. Okay, now let me make the relationship. So in this fact table, we have all dimension keys here to connect to dimension tables. All right, we have got order date, due date, ship date, through which you can connect to dim date, and we have got country ID through which you can connect to geography table, and we have got product ID here, product key. Okay, so this table connected through product key, and this table is connected to the fact table through country ID, and this table been connected. Here we have got date key and order date, and also if you observe for the same dimension table, we have got three foreign keys here: one order date and due date and ship date. Okay, let me connect with other keys as well. So it has connected through due date, and again it has connected through ship date. Okay, as this dimension has connected to fact more than once, that means it is it is playing multiple roles here. This type of dimension is called as role playing dimension. If you want to analyze your fact measures, that means your sales amount based on order date, due date, ship date, of course you can do. So as it plays multiple roles, this dimension called as role playing dimension. All right, if you observe this model here, all our dimension tables are directly connected to fact table. All right, so if all our dimension tables are directly connected to fact table, such type of relationship, or we can say such type of schema, is called as star schema. It looks like star, right? So that schema is called as star schema. Let's take one more table like dim product subcategory. Okay, and we have got name, subcategory name, category. All right, we have got only 3 columns: subcategory key, then category key. Okay, so if you observe here, this dimension table doesn't have direct relationship with fact table. All right, if you see here, we don't have subcategory key, so this cannot connect to fact table directly. Okay, it has to connect to some other dimension table. Let's see, if you observe here in dim product, we have got subcategory ID. Okay, so this subcategory table can connect to dim product table through subcategory key, and through this it can connect to fact table. It has connected to dim product. Through dim product, it has indirectly connected to fact table, right? Such type of schema is called as snowflake schema. So in this model, if you observe, we have got star and snowflakes. If you want to say this as mixed both snowflakes and star, of course you can say that. Let's jump into Power BI directly. Now I'll show you guys how we can achieve role playing dimension functionality in Power BI. All right. Okay. So I have already imported a few tables, that is internet sales and date dimension, right? So if you go to SSMS, you could see this is fact internet sales. So these are the columns I'm taking. Date dimension, we have got date key and English month, name, calendar, year, that's okay. And I'm taking product, dim product and subcategory as well. Let me load these 2 tables as well. As of now, I did not load product and subcategory. I think you guys already might be aware that how to load the data into Power BI, but for one table I'll show you. In case if you don't, here you go. Alright, I'm taking this database. It's optional, but in case if you don't specify the database, then you need to call a fully qualified name here with the database. So that's okay. I already used database name over there. So dim product. Let's see. Let me load even dim product subcategory as well. Yeah, it is loaded here. Of course, by default, it has created a name as query 1. If you want to rename that. Okay, dim product. Let me load even a dim product subcategory as well. Alright, even a dim product subcategory also loaded. So we have got all required tables. So good to go now. Alright, there are 3 tabs on leftmost side. Report and data, then model. Okay, let me jump into model. Observe here, fact internet sales is connected to dim date table, but it has connected through 3 keys. Okay, so there is 3 relationships formed between these 2 tables. Okay, so as I said, it's a role playing dimension. It plays multiple roles, so that's why it is connected to fact in 3 ways. All right, product category and dim product table both connected each other because already there is a relationship. All right, why the dim product is not connected to fact internet sales? Because I did not pick that product key here. Okay, I need to load product key as well. All right, what I can do, I can go ahead and edit this query. Let me edit internet sales table. I forgot to pull that column. Go to advanced editor and going ahead and changing this here. All right, okay, set done. Now we should get that column. Okay, we have got product key here. Close and apply. All right, let me go to model again now. Apply changes. Now data has been loaded. Yes. All right. Okay, dim product is connected to internet sales. All right, we are done with our modeling. Now I'll show you guys, in 3 ways how we can have that role playing functionality in Power BI. All right. See, as of now, if you observe here, dim date table, it is connected to fact internet sales, but though there is only one relationship is active at present. Okay, so we can use only that dimension table for our reporting purpose. All right, so this relationship, that is between due date and date key. Okay, so if you want to analyze your sales based on due date, of course you can, because that relationship is active, but rest of the 2 relationships are not active, even though those are connected each other, but those are not active. All right, so if you use that for your reporting purpose, you can only analyze based on due date key. Okay, but we can't analyze based on order date and ship date, right? So the other way, what we can do, you can load this date dimension again in active relationship and remove. And what you can do, you can load your date dimension table again and again. Okay, 2 more times you can load and you can make the relationship. Okay, so for example, if I load date dimension table again, so this is not efficient way, and anyways, just wanted to show you guys, if in case if you want to understand. All right, there is date dimension loaded. If you want to name this as order date, of course you can name, and you can make the relationship between date key and order date. So here if you observe, now this relationship is active. All right, so likewise you can load one more time and you can relate with your ship date, but this is not efficient way. So you are loading your dimension table again and again. That means same data you are loading into your Power BI 3 times. You are wasting the memory, right? So this is not efficient way. So of course I'm gonna delete it. Just wanted to show you guys how we can do that. It's done now. Okay, I'm gonna delete this table. Okay, this is one way, but it's not efficient way. We should not go for this. Now let me show you that second option, how we can achieve role playing functionality. So I have a date dimension table, right? Let me remove this relationship also. I'm just completely taking off the relationship between the main date dimension and fact table. The other way is you can create logical dimensions inside your Power BI, but this will not load your dimension table multiple times. It will one time only data will be loaded, but you can logically you can duplicate that dimension table multiple times if you want. Okay, so for that what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to model. Under modeling there is option to create a new table. Just click on new table. Alright, I'm gonna name it as order date. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call all the columns from date dimension. Let me copy it. Okay, done. Alright, there is order date table created here. So if you observe here, what are the columns we have in date dimension? All the columns exist here. Likewise, let's create even for due date. Alright, there are three logical tables created: due date, order date, and ship date. Alright, now this is how in SSAS multidimensional and tabular model works. Whenever you relate your role playing dimension to fact table, so how many other relationships exist, those many logical tables will be created in the cube, right? That's how it works. But in Power BI by default those logical tables never be created. We need to create if we want. This is how you can create. You can use them for your role playing functionality. All right, so now if you want to create one page for sales analysis based on due date, of course you can use here due date dimension. And in another page, if you want to analyze based on ship date, of course you can use ship date and you can analyze your measures. And in another page, if you want to analyze based on due date, of course you can go ahead and do that. But this is okay if you want to create multiple pages and analyze in each page differently based on different date dimensions. Okay, but in case if you want to achieve everything in single page, if you want to analyze your sales based on order date, due date, and ship date in same page, then this is not the efficient way, right? So in that case, if you add here, for example, let me take one measure. Alright, I just created one table here, that is sales amount by product subcategory. Alright, so now if you want to achieve everything in a single page, if you want to analyze based on order date, of course you can add calendar year. Just let me add the slicer through which you can slice and dice your sales amount, right? I'm gonna pull calendar year. Okay, this calendar year is based on order date. Okay, it has connected to fact table through order date key. Let me make it as list. Alright, now same way, if you want to analyze based on due date, what you need to do, you need to create one more slicer based on due date, right? So likewise, if you want to analyze based on year, month, quarter, date, you need to add slicers one, each slices from order date as well as due date and also through ship date, right? So this is not efficient way, right? So if you keep adding, of course it won't look good and users will get confused what date it is and what date they need to select. Of course you can name them, but still even though you are naming them, that will be confusion. If I have to add month, 1 month for order date, 1 month for due date, it's been hidden. And this logical table those we created, due date and order date and ship date, what we need to do, we need to make the relationship between those tables and fact table, right? So of course currently we don't have a relationship. Then what you can do, you can go to modeling again. Under modeling you can see the manage relationship, you can make the relationship between those tables. All right, it is one way same like loading your dimension table again and again, but we are not loading here. We are just logically creating that date dimension table in multiple ways, one for due date, one for ship date, one for order date. Okay, even though you are making the relationship, if you observe here, when you try refreshing the data, let me show you guys. When you try refreshing the data, let's see whether it is trying to load 3 times or only 1 time. See here, date dimension, it is loading only once. Okay, even though we duplicated and we created multiple logical date dimension table inside, but it is loading only once. So that's what, here we are not wasting the memory, we are loading only one time, but same dimension table, we created 3 more tables here. All right, so that's how it works. So before that, what we'll do, we'll remove all the relationship between all these tables, and also I want to clear this. All right, now all the logical tables, those I created in previous step, those are already cleared. Now we have got only date dimension table and respect to other dimensions and fact table, right? Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make the relationship now. Okay, so now as usual, you can make the relationship. 3 relationship you can make. I'm gonna make relationship with order date, then due date, and ship date. Only one will be active and rest all will be inactive. That's okay. Let's not worry about that. All right. So only one relationship which is active, that is between due date and date key. Rest all are inactive. Let it be. So let's jump into the report section here. So we have already got a table here, right? What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create 3 measures. Okay, one is based on ship date, the other one is based on order date. Okay, let me create fact internet sales, then I'm gonna close this bracket, use relationship. What relationship I'm gonna use here? I'm gonna use the order date relationship, right? So now order date key from fact internet sales. All right, all done. Okay, there is order date sales created. Now I'm going to create one more measure that is based on ship date. Okay, let me copy same code. I don't want to type again. I'm going to use same DAX query with small change. Okay, let me use that. This time I'm going to create the measure for due date. Okay, due date sales, and here the relationship that we're going to use is fact internet sales due date key. All right, it's done. Now let me create other measure for ship date. This time what I use, the relationship between date key and ship date in fact table. All right, I'm gonna say shipped sales. Now I'm gonna use the relationship that is ship date key relationship. All right, all 3 measures are ready. Now what I can do, I'll use those measures in our table. Ship date sales, order date sales, and due date sales. If you observe here, so as of now all 3 measures are same because we haven't sliced with any dimension, right? So let it be. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add a slicer from date dimension table. Okay, so it's a generic dimension. As of now, let's not worry about which relationship is active because we created 3 different measures, right? Okay, now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create this one, create a slicer that's calendar year from dim date. Okay, list out. Okay, let me slice with 2011. If you observe here, sales amount which will behave based on the active relationship. Okay, whatever the relationship which is active, based on that it will be sliced. The current relationship which is active is due date, right? So if you observe here, the main sales amount and due date sales amount should be same. Okay, if you observe here, these two are exactly same because the current active relationship is a due date relationship. Okay, so if you take off this main sales amount, then it will be clear, right? Why to duplicate it again and again, right? So I took off the main sales amount field here. Now you can see that ship date, order date, and due date sales amounts. So this is how you can achieve the role playing dimension in other way. Okay, if you want to have analysis done based on ship date, order date, and due date in same page, so the alternative way is this. I hope this is clear for you guys. So that's the reason why I said it's one of the sticky wickets, because it's not straightforward. We need to make few changes to get role-playing behavior in Power BI. Alright, thanks for watching my video. Please do subscribe for more videos from my side. I'll be continuously doing videos on Power BI, Azure, and machine learning as well. See you again with a different concept. Until then, bye bye. Alright.